What it do, homies? It's your boy Dave, and I'm back today. We're gonna try something a little bit different here today. This time we're gonna be doing a little bit of showing the guys a little bit of my jazz appreciation side, and we're gonna start doing a couple of reviews of some of my favorite jazz songs. Okay, now I'm not gonna jump straight into the pure jazz, right? The pure jazz kind of genre. We're not gonna jump straight into that. We're gonna jump straight into smooth jazz, okay? Because it's a lot easier to follow. Most of them follow kind of like the 4/4 time signature, which is what most of us are used to, because that's what pretty much almost all of mainstream music is in. And if this is your first time, just trying to get into jazz, this is definitely a good introduction. Now, Phil Denny, okay? The reason why I like Phil Denny is because he has a way of adding so much extravagance and excitement and explosiveness in the music that he makes, right? And he's a saxophonist, such like myself, so of course I'm a little bit biased towards that as well. But I'm gonna stop talking about it. Just we about to groove, okay? I'm telling y'all gonna like this. Let's go ahead, shut up, and turn it up. Right? Ain't this fire, bro? So let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. So when this album first came out, and I believe it came out in 2018, there was a part where I would need to, in order for me to go to sleep, I like to listen to music, right? So oftentimes what I would do is I would just put on some jazz. And sometimes I'll put on smooth jazz because, pure jazz can get too technical and I'm too busy. My mind is too busy racing, trying to figure out like, wow, what was that? What was that? So smooth jazz allows me to go to sleep. So it must have been like 2 o'clock in the morning. 2 o'clock in the morning, and this song woke me up. And you know what woke me up? That intro, that chorus part of his, the bridge part of the chorus part of his song, right? That ba ba da 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 do do, and then at the end when he was like ba da 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 da, right? That part right there, I was like, oh, hold on now, hold on, this Phil Denny, who is this? And I became a fan ever since. So when it comes to jazz, right? There's a couple of quotes that I've read around, read around. I can't remember the name of it, but what I read was that if you have to ask what the song is about, then you'll never know what it was. You'll never get an answer, right? Because it's what you take from it. So when I listen, so I'm gonna tell you what I take from when every time I'm listening to jazz, right? I always try to think of some type of concept. Sometimes the title helps, right? Switch up, right? I try to think of some concept. So every time I hear somebody playing a saxophone, I automatically just think like what if these think about it, think about somebody actually singing, like think of them being like actual words. And then when you start thinking about that, what kind of words would you put in it, right? And all of a sudden this song has like some type of different kind of meaning, right? Or like that dun, 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 right? What going to the grocery store to pick up some eggs. I don't know, but it just makes it a lot more fun to listen to, you know? And and since he's in the saxophone, he has way more control over what he plays, right? Kind of similar to if you're producing music like in a DAW and everything. There's this DAW, digital audio workstation, where most people produce on. Sometimes you can get emotion out a lot better. versus playing in a computer workstation. If you just pick up the saxophone and start playing, and you can hear some of those emotions in there when he does like little. There was like these little. Let me see if I can go back and find it. Okay, it must happen during the next climax, but I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about. But it's just that emotion that you got to put in. So it's more of a try not to think too technically about listening to jazz. Just kind of listen to it and just let your body move how it needs to move. Don't think about it at all, man. Just close your eyes and just groove out, baby. All right. It's funky too, yeah. See if you ever say a little flutter. See, you know what? See, it's like that part right there, that little flutter, right? Okay, see, it's just those small little stuff right there where sometimes I'm an amateur producer. So if I'm ever working inside like a digital audio workstation, sometimes I can get too zeroed in on what is called a piano roll, which is where you go in and you start putting the notes that you want. It gets a little bit too computerized, and some of the feeling, some of the emotion just comes out of it. You don't get from it. So, when we listen to mainstream, some of those have actual live recorded instruments in there, but for the most part, they're all computer generated sounds, and any good producer worth this salt could probably make those computer generated sounds sound realistic, right? But nothing's ever going to replace an actual horn. And it's those sounds right there, that little flutter he did, those sound right there, it sounds a lot more authentic, than what you could do to replicate the issue on like a digital audio workstation. You know what I mean? And that's one of the reasons why I like listening to smooth jazz. So so writing for smooth jazz is a lot of fun too. Okay, it's a lot of fun because you kind of can mix in, and the reason I'm gonna tell you guys the reason why I've been throwing in digital audio workstation a lot is because generally when it comes to smooth jazz, right, as opposed to pure jazz, pure jazz you're not gonna see too much of audio manipulation. Pure jazz is mostly going to be live performances. Like every sound that you hear in there is going to be from something that was performing, live instruments, right? Whereas smooth jazz, they'll have the ability to create their own backtrack. So you'll sometimes will hear digital sounds in there. They're not just restricting themselves to live instruments. And my next song I'm going to do is this other guy. His name is Julian Vong, I believe. I'll get to that, but he has like this interesting kind of smooth jazz piece that's called Bass Trap, which is crazy. I'm gonna show you guys that probably later. But what's cool about this is that you can go into your digital audio workstation, you could lay down a nice smooth little backing track that you can play, right? And you could set it up the same way you would hear in like mainstream, right? You'll kind of have your intro, right? You have your pre-chorus, chorus, and then you have your intro, pre-chorus, chorus, right? And you'll set some time for your verse, but the verse would be either a repeated pattern, which is what we heard from him, that right. So he had a repeated pattern, but you kind of see where he kind of got the ability to kind of freestyle in there, and that was when the climax of the song with that ba 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 da 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 and then he go over that and just start really jamming. I think that's one of the most fun parts about doing smooth jazz, that once you got that backtrack figured out, it's open season, baby. It's open season for you. And it's just such a interesting feeling to really start jamming out, especially when you're in that climax and you kind of in that moment. You like we heard Phil when he was like do when he hit that high note. Ooh, that make you do the stank face. Get real good. Ooh, okay, I see you, Phil. Okay, so I just want to tell you guys about that, man. It's a lot of fun making backtracks for you to play with, and you'll find that you'll get absorbed in it. You play for hours, man, especially if you just loop it. Oh, duh. I think the longest solo that I've done on my saxophone was 9 minutes. It's the longest time. Didn't even know it, man. You just get lost in the zone. Speaking of zone, I think we this part right here is where we got a little break coming up. Check his saxophone out, what he's doing with it. Guitar solo coming. Going back to the pre-chorus, pre-head, if you will. By this time, y'all know it. See a little freestyle part right here, right? Just kind of jam out. This is the most fun part right here. Let your emotions play out, baby. Let it ride out, baby. All right. So if this was your first time trying to get into jazz, man, I am in no, I am in, no kind of situation to be, I'm not necessarily like a jazz master or everything. I just have an appreciation for the music, and there are times where often I'm not good at explaining what exactly I feel or what I'm listening to, other than, the best way that I can was what you guys, basically heard. But I can guarantee you this. I guarantee you this. You play this in your way on the way to work, right? Let's say you woke up, had a horrible day, bro. You play any song off this album by Phil Denny, it's gonna get you in the mood, man. Even the slow song, it's gonna get you in the mood. There's just no way. There's just no way, bro. This is your coffee right here. This is all you need, homie. This is all you need. Anyways, okay, so hope you guys like this. Let me know down in the comments if this is something you would add to your playlist. We'll be checking out another purist. He's mostly a guitar player, bass guitar. He can play all the guitars, but his name is Julian Vaughn. I keep forgetting how to pronounce his last name. We're going to check him out because I do want to show you guys a couple of his songs because once again, his music woke me up out of my sleep as well. All right, y'all. That's the end of this video. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and subscribe. Dave's out.